Good morning. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Let's talk about this subject here this morning that is easily to discuss, but it's hard to implement. Yeah. This one here, everyone likes to talk about it, but it's very hard to implement. So we're going to go and get right on in our discussion here. Let me check a few things out to make sure I got, yeah, okay. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. So, I've included a link under the video that you can see one that I have. I included a video that I discussed. I think it was Saturday. I posted it on my YouTube channel for four of these grants that you can apply for, grant funding, free money. Let me get into the benefits and the benefits of a grant and getting grant funding. We're talking about this morning, we're going to talk about grant funding for your business, helping you to grow it, whether you new startup or whatever. I have a list of 100 grants that I just researched over the weekend and that I checked all of them out. And because I am working on some projects for a few clients, but just the grant funding for them, working on their grants personally myself. But I'm going to do a class this week. I'm thinking about doing it Thursday. I'm going to see. I'll let you know later on today. It's going to be Thursday and then Saturday morning. We're going to talk about some things we'll talk about just kind of like the fundamentals of grants. And then Saturday, we're going to get right into a workshop. If you are one of the ones that, hey, I want to learn how to write a grant. I don't know how to write a grant. Well, this is going to be an introduction. It will never be this price again. It's going to be 197. Yes, that's crazy, isn't it? 197 to we're going to do a workshop. We'll probably spend about 2 hours or maybe possibly if we need to go a little longer. If anybody have any questions on Thursday evening, and then Saturday morning, we're going to definitely dive into the workshop, and that means tweaking the business plan. If you don't have one, yes, I'm going to do. We'll do it probably from 9 to 12 or something like that, and help you at least get started. With 197, that you can't get all my time, but I'm going to give you a lot of information, and I want to give it to the masses. I'm not going to do the grant for you. You'll be doing it yourself, but you'll have the information on how to do it and how to start it. So if you want further help with it, I will work with you one-on-one, and that's a different a different investment for you. But you can do it. It can happen for you. But I want to get right into what I want to talk about this morning to help you to kind of see your opportunities are great out here, and they're not just limited to your thinking, your way of thinking. Because I think there, although grants are very competitive, grants it is very, very lucrative and help your business grow. You have to apply for more than one, and there's a lot involved in it. So hey, if you want something, you got to do something to get it right. If you want something, you can't just be passive and sit back and just thinking it's going to fall in your lap, because it won't. It definitely won't do that. No. So let's discuss some things about grant funding here. And I will definitely tell you a few of them. Let me, I'm getting to my screen. Okay. Now, give you a little history about this here and how this grant, why is funding out here? Who gives grants? Why would somebody want to give grant money? I know the people ask that all the time, and they kind of wondering what that's all about, I'm sure. But the government runs, at least the United States, the government runs the country, right? It runs this community. It runs everything. Everything moves and shakes and revolves around the government. Well, the government has a mandate and has a responsibility to make sure that this country is the citizens are ran, everything is ran smoothly, and to eliminate chaos and eliminate all kind of uproar, uproaring and all this stuff too. And then also it want to live by its mission to make this, to make this country a better country, to promote entrepreneurship, to to promote free, free thinking, free living, and to promote those that want to aspire to leave legacies and build. They want to give you that opportunity. So that's what they say they go by. Okay, we're gonna say that's it. Okay. Now, in that event, they have to come up with plans. They have to come up with plans to make things happen for you. They have to come up with plans, looking at the data of what's going on around the world. And that's why you don't understand. Some of you may not understand, but these social media platforms are data mining, hubs. Everywhere is collecting data on you. That's why you do your census every so many, every 10 years. That's why your local government, they're keeping numbers. Anybody you interact with from a business standpoint, and they can keep numbers. That's what they do. They keep numbers on what's going on. All the departments that are affiliated with the government, you notice they have to keep numbers and they have to keep data on you so they can know what to pull, what to roll out for helping the communities and helping the citizens. Now, where you come in is you got this creative idea, you got something that you want to help, you want to do, and you're going to be in alignment with some of these things that they present to you, like helping your community, contributing to your communities, being innovative, and it's demonstrating growth that's going to grow whatever business that you're coming to them with that you want the government to fund or support. And then also, that is how that is formed, and that's how that happened. Now let's get into, like, you have organizations, and you always hear like these are companies and other organizations that give grant money. Well, they have to go by the government's rules and guidelines and regulations. Some of the money from the government is trickled down to state governments, and when the state have programs, those programs are funded. You got to, you ever heard the saying, follow the money? Well, when you look at the hierarchy from the government, and then you go down, the government give the state so much funding. You remember I mentioned to you guys about the state small business credit initiative program, which that is still in effect. Where what it is it's a program that it really don't look so harshly on you have to use. This is something you have to use. You have to have, your credit has to be pretty much decent for this particular loan. But we're going to talk about free money, but I want to explain this to you real quick. What happens is that particular money is dispersed to the states. Now the states, all banks doesn't participate, and that's how the money gets trickle down to you. But you have to be specific about what program. Sometimes they don't tell you what program. And what I didn't know and what I discovered here just about a week ago, that a lot of money that's not used by the end of the year, then it goes back to, the politicians. They intend to get bonuses from all of this money. So they're going to be limited of what they tell you about this free money. So don't depend on grant money or whatever. But the state, let's go back to the state small business credit initiative program, where that program is the bank. Okay, say for instance, you go into the bank, you want to get a loan up under this program, where the federal government has already told the banks in this, because from the state program, say, okay, yeah, where you give this person this under these guidelines, they have to meet these guidelines now, but you need to find out what they are, and we'll be discussing that on when we do the workshop on Thursday. You have to know what the guidelines are, and then they say if they meet these requirements, we're going to guarantee the loan, so you can loan them. We're going to loan them. We're going to guarantee up to 50% of the loan, and you can, go by the guidelines of your banking institution, and you go ahead and you disperse this money. So that way, see, it's a little bit more, the bank is a little bit more lenient and saying, okay, well, we're not going to be totally responsible if this loan defaults. So this program is going to help us make a determined decision on whether we can, we want to give this business some funding or not. But you have to meet their requirement of a business plan, and you have to give them financials. And like I said, you have to meet their requirements. Certain things can, some you can say, hey, this is a startup for me. And mostly startups, you got to really convince, in a sense, let them know, because a lot of them, they don't know about your business. They don't know the ins and outs. They don't know what you need. They don't know how your money can be cash flow and be a profit. You have to tell them that. And when you tell them that, I think when you tell them that, then they'll see it from a different lens. And I think a lot of people think that when you go somewhere and get a loan that they know about every business. No, that's why they need a plan from you, so where you can tell them in details what's really going on with this business, how can this business make money, and how can we form a relationship to be able for potential growth in the future, and then possibly innovating in your business as your business is there, and then you can contribute to the community along the way. So you get it. So those are some things that I think that you got to highlight in your business planning and tell them how. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. You just got to be very detailed. You can take something so complex, you can take a 45-page document and just detail on certain things and then sum it up. I think and I believe, because I've done it before, in 2 or 3 pages, or maybe 2 pages, really. Just get to the point. You know how to say, just get to the freaking point, because sometimes people just take you all around the road and back again, and those, so just, get to the point. So anyway, that's when when you need to just go ahead. And sometimes things take longer. I'm not saying everything is a get to the point kind of situation, but with something like this, sometimes you need to be very, very thorough, and then also you just hitting those points. So where if they want anything else deeper or longer, then you guys can have a talk, or you and the business, the loan officers or the bank can have a deeper conversation about what you want to do. So that is a little bit of overview of how I feel like you should approach this and think about getting grants and getting a grant. Now let's go on and talk about the free money version of getting a getting a grant. There are some government agencies that will help you and support you in regards. And hey there, Charles, how you doing? Hey, Charles. Hey, how you? All righty. That's my ex-husband, y'all. How you doing? You see, although we didn't make it in life, we still friends, okay? Yeah, still friends. That's what it's all about. All righty. Now let's continue on. The US Chamber of Commerce is one of the ones that. Oh, and you have a new he has a new business out too. Yeah, he has a new business. Congrats. I told you I'll share with it. Well, we'll talk about that another time. I'll share with you guys his business. Want y'all to support his business. I'm glad that he's doing something great out here in the world. He has a service. So let's talk about the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is going to be one that's going to house database. It's going to have some small business programs for you out here, and then also your associations that are promoting small businesses. They are one of the ones. And SBA is another one that has a wealth of information, and it has a wealth of information to lead you towards, your rewards in when it comes down to business. Okay. Now, let's see here. Also, we are going to go. Like I said, I pulled up 100 grants that are very powerful grants, and there are grants that really have that from veteran businesses to whatever it is, and most of them have the application requirements are so totally different, but most of the applications do require a business plan for the most part. But like I said, if you want that extended list, you're gonna have to be in the class to get it. We will definitely discuss some of them, and then we would discuss some of them, and then we'll also just kind of like maybe kind of semi walk you through some of them if you want to apply. And I can kind of live, and we can do it live, and I can tell you what's what when it comes, what you have to do in order to be able to really be on the top of the list to get these grants. So if you put the work in, y'all, let me tell you, I've seen it before. I've worked with clients. We've applied for more than one grant, but if you take the time out to really, really do what is asked of you to receive these grants, then you will be on your way to getting some of this money out here. You really would. So it has to be it has to be left up to you. And then also, like like I said, there's so many databases that can give you information for as your grants. You have to learn to search through them. You have to be very intentional out here with these grants. And grants can help you hire people for your business to get you off, and to get you up and running. And a lot of these a lot of these grants when they a lot of these grants, what they do, if they see that you are going to contribute to the community, you're going to contribute to the economy, they are going to pay attention to what you have to say, because they know that there's so many innovative people out here. And do y'all know, when they talk about, you always see sometimes like, yeah, this very millionaire or billionaires is giving so much to charity, or they're giving so much to, nonprofits, or they're giving so much to um, whatever organization it is, out there. Well, you know what that means for you. You should, this the next time you see that, let me think about this. What it is saying to you, okay, they're giving money away to these organizations that is going to trickle down to you getting funding for your business, possibly. So some of these grants, that even like the 100 that I mentioned to you, they get the funding from these millionaires and billionaires to fund these programs. And if they don't give the money out, then the money get redirected somewhere else. So, and by we in the seventh month of the year already, now is the time to really, really be thinking about it. And that's why I'm talking about this more now, because this is the time for people to really, really be thinking about what kind of funding is out there for them. Now, there are criterias for each individual grant, and that's where you have to know what you know. You have to know what they want from you, and you have to understand that they won't accept anything differently. You have to know what it takes to get the funding, and you have to be intentional, and you have to just do what they ask you to do, and nothing more, nothing less. Not go on your own understanding of what you feel like well, why they want this from us, why they need this from us. Don't ask that question, because that's a negative approach to getting something that you want to manifest in your life, and you never get it that way. You never get it with the negativity, the question, asking the questions of why they want certain things, because they have to do checks and balances. That's why. That's why. So it's not left up to you, it's left up to what they are going to do to give it to you. And then also, like I said, there's plenty different categories that gives grants out to new businesses, to technology entrepreneurs, and general business grants. There's a plethora of them. And yes, sometimes the competitive pool is very is there, but that shouldn't stop you, because sometimes a lot of them, they give out multiple grants. They don't just give out, oh, one gets a $10,000 grant. They're not just giving that to one person. They're giving that to many people. You can be one of the ones that they choose. So just keep in mind and think of it that way. In your niche or whatever business you're in, there's all kind of business grants in those categories. But if you don't understand it, and if you don't know it, that's when you need to get with me and work with me one-on-one, so where I can help you get there. Because the broader approach for this is going to be, what we're going to kind of touch on this week before Thursday. I'm going to give you the broader approach of it all, but you got to be specific, and you got to be ready in your niche, because there is funding out there for you. And you're not gonna apply in 30 days and get it in the 31 days. Sometimes they tell you when they're disbursing their their funding, and they give you, they give you their date that they're doing it. But when they give it to you, it's lucrative. It'll be lucrative for you. And then give an account. You already have a plan of how you're going to use the money. I had one client I was working with last year, and I know y'all heard me tell the story. I just had to write her a letter, give her money back, and say, hey, you go on about your business, because you're expecting something from me, or you're expecting something to happen, and you don't even want to follow the guidelines. They specifically said they want to know, what are you spending your money? If somebody's giving you free money, money that you don't have to pay back, money that you don't have to get a credit check for. You don't think that this it's not out of respect, you should let them know what you're going to do with the money. That's common courtesy. So what you're telling me is you don't respect the people that are being generous enough to do something for you. So how's that going to work? You get it? How is that going to work? So people just not, I don't know, they're not they what the Bible says that people they won't have any natural affection, and they won't be. You see it now. You see it. Oh my God, the Bible is really fulfilling itself. It's so much out here going on, and it's so sad, but it's so true. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just wanted to kind of talk to y'all this morning about the grant funding. We're gonna I said the Thursday class. If you're interested in it, you just go ahead and click. You can go ahead and just request. You can comment the word grant, so I can have you down. I can give you the link once I decide on how. But it'll be virtual. It's not going to be. You're not going to have to physically come out. I'll send you all the information, and we'll have. We'll have things that you'll be able to go ahead and once you leave the class or the course, once you leave the training, or once you leave what we talk about this week, you'll be able to go and we're gonna try to hopefully we can try to get you already halfway applying for some while we're doing the workshop on Saturday morning. So Thursday it's gonna be Thursday and Saturday, but we won't start the workshop part to Thursday to Friday. I'm sorry, to Saturday morning. But Thursday is going to definitely be a very detailed information that you don't want to miss it, because if you miss Thursday, then Saturday won't mean nothing to you. You'll be lost and confused. So that's why I break it up, because it's Thursday and Saturday morning, because I know Friday everybody probably would be tired, and you just want to kind of wind down or whatever you have to do. But yeah, we're going to talk about getting this funding, and we're going to get some grants written. If you have the time to, if you're ready, you have to be receptive of it. So I'll be back on and I'll talk about this later on today. Do remember, if you are interested, just let me know. Just write the word grant and I'll give you the link. So anyway, have a beautiful morning, everybody. Everybody have a beautiful morning. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Bye bye.